Previously, Lucile was transferred to the headquarters of the Healers Guild, where he was assigned the task of clearing out the labyrinth. So Lucile quickly began to clear it out and reached to the boss, but after defeating it, he collected the items belonging to a priest of the church. The Pope was impressed by Lucile and his quick progress, so she granted him a few items he desired and had high hopes from him to bring in other items of the priests who died in the labyrinth. So Lucile began training with all of the Valkyrie regiment's ladies in order to become stronger, but Bro is far behind them and is beaten up by every girl. So he returns to the Adventurers Guild and receives a third-degree stare from everyone. He gets to the guildmaster, but even there it was the same criticism with eyes. So Lucile orders 10 barrels of Substance X and the criticism glare changes to what the hell glare, but then Master requests Lucile as an adventurer for help. So Lucile agrees to his request, so Master goes off to bring out his order first. There Milty tells him that many adventurers were gravely injured after a burst of high-level monster appearance. So Lucile mentions about Clinic and Milty loses her composure, because everyone knows healers always sell out those people who can't pay their payment, but Lucile charged only 1 silver for treatment. Which gives them a glimmer of hope. Those guys were about to lose their life and Lucile gets there, but seeing him, no one wanted a healer and began to ridicule him. So Master shuts them up and tells them Lucile is the urban legend that everyone knows off from the name of Massa Zombie Healer. So now everyone recognized Lucile is the one who healed for a very cheap rate and started to chant his Massa Zombie name, while Masso stands for masochist, so Lucile lays 3 terms for his help. That is to help him or anyone from the church like Pope or the Valkyrie regiment, and finally he doesn't want to be called masochist healer. Everyone was on board with his request and Lucile used a higher level area heal to save everyone. After that everyone started a meeting to discuss a brand new name for Lucile and finally came to the conclusion that Lucile's new nickname will be Saint Weirdo. After that he gets to Katlia and told her he would be staying in the dungeon from now on, which shocked her and she didn't allow Lucile for that. But Lucile tells her he has obvious supplies and after clearing the area, not many monster appears around which makes a safe place from him to stay. So Katlia gave in and told Lucile to visit her once a week. She seemed really worried for him, but Lucile returned in just a few days. So on that note Katlia gave him the new weapons Pope had sent for him and additionally she gives a magic pillow for a comfortable sleep. With that, a few days passes by and Lucile receives another batch of Substance X from the guild master. Then there Lucile gives a letter he wanted to send to Maritoni. But a few guys comes in with full motivation to have a duel with Lucile, and the air of criticism has also changed significantly after Lucile saved them from near death. But Lucile was still stuck at level 1 so he makes up that he haven't defeated a monster. Then Lucile heals a few adventurers again and asks them about Maritoni or Valkyrie. Well, Valkyrie regiment was all fine, but Maritoni had a typhoon going around. Word is that Broad was kidnapping new adventurers to train them all because he promised Lucile. But another news was that a guild receptionist was getting married, which gave Lucile a heart attack, but sadly, that guy doesn't know which girl is getting married. So Lucile assumed one of 2 or both waifus were leaving him, and that's also the reason his waifus never sent out a letter to Lucile to stay in touch. Then half a year passed and Lucile continues his work and beats another level of boss. Then he returns to Katlia and she seems relieved that Lucile got back to her alive. She gave him 400,000 points this time for bringing boss items again, so he thought of getting a magic robe, but Katlia thought magic potion for him would be much better. So Lucile liked the idea because he uses area heal most of the time in fight, so Katlia became suspicious that Lucile is using some kind of drup to boost his power. Lucile denied it. But what about Substance X? So Katlia dragged Lucile along with her to report this to the Pope. So Katlia told the Pope about this and Lucile brought that drink out to show them. And it was disgusting, so he put it back in his sack. Lucile then informs the Pope that he has been drinking this for 2.5 years from the Adventurers Guild. And it's also known to be created by a sage to boost power. Pope had a rough idea about this drink. She knew that it was originally a pill, but when the sage tried to make it, it came out to be a liquid, but because of its disgusting smell and taste, Sage renamed it to God Lament. Lucile tells Pope he drinks 3 mugs a day because he wanted to become strong to protect life. Pope was impressed by his guts. Then after some time, Katlia gave Lucile the information about Substance X and its side effects with pitiful-looking eyes. So Lucile returns to the labyrinth and reads it out first and discovers that the sage who created this drink wrote that it would amplify the desires of living beings and even boost power. However, the church rejected this because of its unbearable stench and taste, so he left this item to the Adventurers Guild in the hope that youngling would become powerful enough to save the world one day. But the side effects are even more dangerous because this drink kills one of the primary desires of a living being in exchange to make the consumer powerful. So Lucile thinks back. He can eat perfectly fine, had no problem sleeping, but the only problem was he wasn't getting a turn on even when he was with his two waifus. Or even with the Valkyrie regiment, which was full of only girls. So this was the time Lucile thought how badly he screwed himself up because he got zero sexual desires now. Even with so many women around, bro had really messed himself. So what will happen to his love life if he doesn't have any sexual desires? Let's find out in the next episode. But for now, please subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon because I am bringing out newly aired anime to you all every day, so take care.